Hey everybody, what's going on? Before we get started, let's just run the intro so we can jump right into it. Welcome to Sunday, the after school party.
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around for
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the show. Just another Sister Wives Sunday. We just finished episode two, the sequel. Give me a one in the chat so that I can be sure that you can hear me, you can see me, that I'm not sitting there talking to myself, which is crazy. But yeah, we two down. So see some ones populating. Awesomeness. Let me get my screen up. For some reason that did not populate. Ooh. All right, I see some ones jumping. There we go. Yeah, my jaw was lacking for a second. It was lacking. All right, yeah. Thank you guys so much for the ones. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. Let a player know that you like what I'm doing and that you're ready for this conversation. All right. First impressions. Yes, well, you know what? Let's run a poll real quick because I do like the interactive polls, just to make sure that you guys are telling me what you need to know. Hold on one second. Let me see. How do you guys do you like the season so far? All right, so you know, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest because, you know what, and it's not just gonna be, I'm gonna be cruel to the sister wives because I could sit there and just bash on the cast and the story, but I'm gonna be honest with myself as well. So let me plug this in. I'm gonna put some answers in so we can get a nice little feel for where everybody is with where you feel the chapter is going. Because it's just, yeah, I'll get into my thoughts in a minute. Let me just rock this in because I'm curious how everybody is feeling about this. Let me check. I have to make sure the answers because they don't like me. Okay. Oh man. Okay, I'll have to just cut that short. Okay, so here we go. So the poll will be honest, are you actually enjoying this season or just hate watching with snacks? Okay. First answer is loving it. Second answer is same old trees, same old Cody. Third answer, Robin's tears are the real story. Fourth answer, watching out of habit at this point. So let me know where you guys are because I'm curious as to where you stand with this. Like it's, because I'm gonna be honest with myself. Uh, we had a lot of things going on in this particular episode, so we might as well just jump right into it. Hey, everybody! I see the room filled up. Don't forget to hit those like buttons. Let a player know what you like, what I'm doing. Yeah, because I want to be brutally honest about where I am too. Uh, like the segment one, like first part that I'll talk about is Cody and these damn trees. Like every this whole thing, Cody the lumberjack. Once again, the repetition and produced nature of this season is starting to wear on me a big, like huge, bigly. I don't know how else to put it. Like huge. It's crazy. It's starting to grate on me. Um, Cody's back at it. He's cutting down more trees because apparently nothing says personal growth like taking an axe to a perfectly innocent pine. Like that's just kind of where he is. For some reason, this dude has a death wish with them damn trees, and he's trying to make it come to fruition. Um, it's nutso to me. It's nutso to me, and they're running out of ideas. Like there is a exercise that people will use if you go to acting classes or even on sets of shows, like where basically you're trying to find a natural thing that you would be doing that would lead you into whatever particular scene that you're doing. With these guys, their imagination caps must be in the shop because they're only like a couple things that they ever film them doing prior to these conversations or these interactions. With Cody and Robin, they're either cutting down a tree at some point, they're standing in his like in the kitchen slash like moving over to the family room. Right. Today we got a little different because we were actually one in the house this season. Like we're actually in the house. And then two, they're moving from room to room, like moving around the room. So we actually see the kitchen and then we see the dining room and then we see the balcony. Ooh, that's incredible. Then there's if they're not doing that, just standing out in front of the house on a porch or they're going to dinner. That's all they do on this damn show. And it's annoying. Find something else to do. Find another activity. Draw something, right? Be at work. You wonder why people think you don't have a job. Oh, I have an office in the house, but you're never in it. You're never working. And you wonder why people think that you're in there just stealing money. At least give the good faith effort of putting something new, different, and interesting up, showing that you might actually be doing something other than cutting a freaking tree down. It's crazy to me. And like I said, it's the same old scenes over and over and over and over. And what's worse is they're talking about the same old damn subjects over and over and over and over. So it's almost like you guys shot the same damn conversation like 18 times on the same day. You just went in for a wardrobe change. And you just keep presenting like it's something new and something different. Like it's crazy to me. That's why I think is another reason why I think that this show isn't going to last, because whoever is producing this just doesn't have any imagination. Like they're not putting this shit together good. Like TLC, and to be honest with you, I'm going to be all the way blunt. TLC has been dropping the ball for a long time. I don't know what they on, but they need to get off of it. I am not watching after this season of 90 Day Fiance. And this is just a warning shot to you guys on TLC. After 90 Day Fiance, I started watching this whole reality show thing on 90 Day Fiance. After this original 90 Day Fiance thing is over, I am done watching 90 Day Fiance. I'm not watching the other way. I refuse to watch the other way. Because again, it's the same old characters, same old tired ass storylines, and it's a waste of time. What really got me, and I can see Sister Wives kind of moving into this vein. What really got me was when I stopped and I really thought about it. They run those episodes for an hour and a half. That's a movie. Okay, that's a freaking feature film. So there's no way in the world I'm gonna sit there and watch a bunch of half-ass wannabe fake ass storylines with some terrible freaking actors sitting there trying to put these bullshit stories together to sell to the audience. Like it's stuff that nobody would ever go through, do, or has any touch of reality. It's a slap in the face. And on top of that, it's a monumental waste of time. It's a waste of freaking time. I have all kinds of streaming services that I have for this and for my kids and for everybody else. I have a bunch of stuff in my queue that I need to watch. And as I'm sitting there watching this bullshit stuff that they have them doing, like crazy conversations. Hey, do you like oranges or lemons? Like, who gives a shit? What does that have to do with your marriage? What does that have to do with anything? But that's the kind of stuff you show, and there's so much B-roll, there's so much filler that it spans it out to an hour and a half. And like I said, just like most soap operas, you could miss 2 episodes and still see them having the same damn conversation because they'll jump cut it all the way to the same conversation and span it out between 2 and 3 episodes. It's so ridiculous. And the sad part is I can see them doing that not only with 90 Day Fiance, I see them starting to do that with Seeking Sister Wives. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to see them doing that with Sister Wives in general. The Brown family is turning into the same thing. So even when you have like the little interesting moments, like you did tonight with Christine and David, like their interactions, that could have been really interesting. The downside to it is that you cake it and you pad it and you sandwich it between bullshit. And so when you have those interesting moments, you've already put so much surplus into the episode that when you do have those telling innocent moments that could be interesting to watch, they're not interesting because it just comes off as more padding for the episode. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm looking at the show more critically. Now, granted, let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. I'm not trying to say that Sister Wives has to produce themselves or a reality show has to produce themselves to some Oscar level or Oscar worthy performance. That's not what I'm saying. But at least if it's a reality show, have some sense of reality. I understand that it's produced. I understand that it's the storylines are put together and they try to create a cohesive storyline for the season. I'm not dumb. I understand that. And I understand that you have people who are not professionally trained actors trying to bring these stories to life. So they might not be as fluid, but at least give them the ability to have the conversation. When I imagine reality shows, what I imagine is you have an issue in a family, right? You find out that a husband and wife recently had an argument. You want to film that argument. So you basically set the cameras up, set the sound up, you let them have the discussion. And as they have the discussion and get more comfortable, they'll have the argument will take its shape and be what it is for the cameras. Not you trying to write, instead of writing an argument, a disagreement, or a conflict, let's write some old clap the back bullshit where we're gonna sit around and try to make each other look smart. What do you think about possibly selling County Pass? I don't know. I think it'd be a good idea, but I love it so much. I love the family. Look, we'll talk about County Pass in a minute. But I'm just saying. Here's the some of the results so far. Be honest, are you actually enjoying the season or just hate watching with snacks? Loving it, 9%. So 9% of you are loving it. Like McDonald's, I'm loving it. Same old trees, same old Cody, that's 30% of you. Robin's tears are the real story, that's 3% of you. And of course, watching out of habit at this point, that's 59%. So I'm going to leave this poll open and give you guys an opportunity to respond to it. And then we'll close it down. But I just wanted to get a feeling where everybody was. Yeah, but like I said, the whole like repetitive scenes, repetitive conversations, it without a doubt makes the show appear to be overproduced. It makes it seem like it makes a system that is not necessarily 100% realistic seem less genuine than it actually already is. So it's just a bad call. uh, the whole thing with marrying awkward speed date. Let's get to that. Like the thing with marrying this dang on speed dating, I got some thoughts. And let me know in the comments section what you guys think. I have some thoughts about marrying this speed dating thing. A little awkward to say the least. That's to be expected, especially if you've been married long term and you're coming back into the dating market. Some people, let's be honest, some people never really had a whole lot of experience dating to start with before they get married. Then they get married, and once that relationship dissolves for whatever reason or ends for whatever reason, they find themselves in a situation where now you have to do something you've never done. One of the other challenges, ironically, is you'll have people who were prolific daters when they were younger. They used to go out all the time, phone ringing all the time. They was always out with their buddies or the ladies or whoever, right? And then when they get married, a lot of that slows down because, it has to. And then if their relationship ends and they go back into the dating market, the challenge that they have is a lot different. And the challenge they have is that when they were dating, a lot of times they were wearing a younger man's shoes. You understand what I mean? And a younger man's pant size, if you dig what I'm saying. Like when you were younger, in some cases, if you relied on your looks and how you looked, and that's how you achieved a lot of attention, being a pretty person in the establishment, being a handsome, tall, handsome guy in the establishment goes a long way when it comes to picking people up, without a doubt, right? Because you get older and you can't necessarily rely on how you look, and you may have to rely on, I don't know, your personality. It becomes a lot more difficult. So I think that it can be a difficult proposition no matter how you cut it, right? So the speed dating episode, as far as I'm concerned, it really didn't do Mary any favors, because I'm putting aside the fact that she'll have difficulty and it's hard for her to start dating. I'm putting that aside because I think that's true for everybody, and I'm not bashing her for that. But there's stuff like she came off like super arrogant during this episode, because she's talking about like, oh, these people, like, I feel like the resident celebrity, like, oh, do these people know who I am? And the way she was conducting the conversations, it wasn't like she was trying to discover or find out about the people who sat at the table. It was like she'll ask a question, like it felt like a job interview, right? She would ask a question and would expect the other people to elaborate on their answers, or she would do it in a way where, to be honest, there's an old saying: if you say that you're bored, that means you're boring, right? And if you want to be interesting, you have to be interested. You can't sit around and pretend like everybody's supposed to come to you and impress you because you're this magical, wonderful person, and these men have to, come in and wow you. Like, this is one of the things that actually annoys me about like the manosphere. We're going to be honest, because they have the exact opposite view, like the same coin, just a different side of the same coin view on dating with women. The term that they always use is, ask women, what are they bringing to the table? What do you bring to the table? Like that bullshit. What are you bringing to the table? You know what I mean? What are you bringing to the table? Like, what? Well, who bringing what to the table? I didn't realize this was Pac look. You know what I mean? Bring it to the table. That's stupid, right? So if you want to have people interested in you, you have to be interesting. To be honest with you, one of the things that happened with Cody Brown when he wore younger man's shoes, how he was able to get 3 wives, is that Cody Brown seemed interesting to these ladies. He didn't run up and have to beg them for their phone numbers. He was just an interesting guy. The ladies thought he was interesting, and they made their way to make themselves available to him. If you wanted to talk to them and date them, he was available. That's how it works. That's the blueprint of it. And it's not just like a young Cody Brown. This is just dating advice in general. Being friends with people. Be approachable, be somebody they can talk to. But when you're sitting there talking about, oh, I don't understand why everybody's sitting there acting like I'm a celebrity and shit. I don't know what that's about. Because you're sitting there with cameras. We can't lose the fact that you're sitting there with cameras. Everybody had to sign a release. They may not know what show they're signing a release for, but at minimum, everybody who sat in that room and who appeared on camera tonight signed a release. That's how they were able to be on the show. There's a guy standing there with a video camera taping this person. So yeah, people are going to think that you're something or somebody, that somebody would stand here and videotape you. And videotape all your videotape, that makes me sound old. They'll record all your conversations, right? So I mean, there's that. Then there's something she said that was just like, oh, please, please. When she said she claimed that she hates dumb jokes. Excuse me? You hate dumb jokes? That's all you and Jen do is tell dumbass jokes. Like, you guys just tell corny ass, mom, dad jokes. Oh, my name is Bob with an extra O and call it boobs. Like, are you serious? And because the guy cracked a joke about, not being married to multiple people at the same time. I don't like that joke. I think he's trying to be personal. No, he's trying to be funny. That is a joke. That's a joke. I was married to twice, but, two women, but not at the same time. Ha, ha, ha. Especially in Utah, it's completely relevant because he's taking a shot at polygamists. Unfortunately, you're a polygamist. So I guess that's why you didn't find the joke funny. But that is the joke. It's not a bad joke. And in 90% of the time, I bet you that joke either works or it's kind of blown over. Not a big deal. Then there's the like I said, she keeps like bragging about being that house celebrity stuff. That shows a sign of arrogance. She act like she was above it. Like, that's the weird thing to me too. If you're on a speed date, you're on a speed date because you're looking for somebody. You don't get to criticize me for going on speed dates or act like you better than me because I'm going to a speed date when you're at the speed date event too. You're not a coupled person or a person who's already paired off showing up to speed date and you just doing it for fun. You here because you need somebody too, or you want somebody too. So we in this together. We both saying sorry if that's what your position is, right? And I would even say with the whole thing about dating, whether you're young or old, two things. First thing, she complained that she's in her 50s now and she's a little old to get started. This is one of the byproducts of you holding on to somebody who's been trying to let your ass go for the last 20 years. Okay? Because you would have been, if you would have left when he first started acting up and acting a fool, you would have been 30 years old walking out of that relationship. In your 30s, walking out of that relationship. Oh, it's too old to start over. And 50 is better. You understand what I mean? Like, if you would have left when he stopped paying attention to you, when he stopped coming around, you would have been what, in your mid-30s? Like in your 40s? And do you think it's easier to start dating in your 30s and 40s or your 50s and 60s? You understand what I mean? Like, you're looking for a life partner in your 30s and 40s or your 50s and 60s. So, you got to act to the system that you're in. The second part is whether it's speed dating, going to the supermarket, going to the club, going to the bar. If you're single and you're trying to date people, like, the truth of the matter is the best way to date people or to find people is to not look for people. What does that mean, James? That's the riddle. Riddle me this, Batman. How do you find somebody and not look for them? What I'm saying is that you go out, have a good time. Be that person. Go out, have fun wherever you go. If I go out, well, I'm not open or available to go date anybody. But if I was single, what I would do is what I've always done. Like, I would go out and have a good time. And if I meet somebody, cool. If I don't, cool. But at the end of the night, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have a good time. And the crazy thing is that even to this day, if I go out somewhere, right, not looking for a partner, none of that shit, I go out. I've always gone out to places by myself. If I go out to a place tonight, I'll end up talking to somebody in the bar or wherever I go. I'll end up talking to somebody. Hey, how you doing? Not necessarily a young lady, but somebody. Yo, I have a whole ass conversation. I don't think I've ever gone out somewhere and not had a conversation with somebody in the place that I've gone. And it's just because I'll go out and I have a good time. I'm there for fun. I'm not there to cause problems. I'm not there to create no issues. I'm not there trying to have people come over to me and try to impress me. I'm just going to have fun. The crazy thing is, people are attracted to people who are fun. People are not attracted to people who are not fun. If I'm paying my money to go out, I don't want to go hang out with the dude who look like he's sad about to try to park his car in a tree. I'm going out trying to hang out with the person who's got a smile on his face, the person who's pleasant, the person who's approachable, the person who looks like they're having a good time. And if you're trying to date people, that's what you want. The people who are single or looking will be attracted because they're trying to find somebody, especially in the second chapter of their life. If they've already been married, if I was already married to a miserable ass person, why the hell would I want to go to a bar, speed dating event, group dating event, whatever the hell it is, and hang out with the person who look like they chewing on lemon rinds? That's not a thing. Or the person who I'm already with I just left a woman who has been like extremely demanding or nasty to me or belittles me. And then I'm going to go to a speed date and sit across from a person who act like I have to try to impress them. That's not attractive to me either. The same way she's dealing with her traumas, and this is what I would say to Mary or somebody in Mary's situation. I would just merely try to remind that person that the same way you're dealing with the traumas of your divorce and your separation, there's a possibility, especially at your age, our age, as you date somebody who is in the dating pool right now, they too are probably dealing with they baggage and their bullshit too. So you going in there, with a chip on your shoulder about your relationship, one, that tells me that you need to spend a little more time trying to get over that relationship and work on yourself so you can get through it, so you can be in a place where you're ready to date. Two, it tells me that I don't want to be there because I'm not going to sit there and get beat up for something that somebody else did. Especially if I'm dealing with my stuff. I got to deal with my stuff. You got to deal with your stuff so that we can come together and be able to deal with each other. But that's just kind of where I'm at. But like I said, I didn't like the way Mary kind of came off. The yeah, the whole, because it's just, I think it just like it tried to be the woman empowerment moment for Mary, but it didn't come off that way, at least to me. Maybe I'm just, it wasn't for me, so maybe I'm not picking up on the cues, and I'm not ignoring that. What is this? Oh, let me do the poll. The poll is be honest, are you actually enjoying the season or just hate watching with snacks? 8% of you said loving it. 35% of you said same old trees, same old Cody. 4% of you said Robin's tears are the real story. 53% of you said watch it out of habit at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and end that poll. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for participating. Make sure you hit that like button too. Hey, Kathy Mosley, what's going on? Wow. YouTube is my time machine. Said Mary should have been over that relationship. She's been single for years. She's been single for years. She just didn't know it. she was unaware. She refused to accept it. You know what I mean? That's like somebody who gets a bill in the mail and just refuses to open it. You know, you not opening that bill is not stopping anything. It's not, you know, just because you say you didn't know and you had no idea, it doesn't mean that they haven't been trying to tell you. Cody's been trying to tell you that the shit is over. And you can say, well, he been sweet talking me after. Look, if he, I'm just saying, like, as a general rule, this is how I work with it. If you say something like you spend 5 hours saying really nice stuff to me, and then you spend 10 minutes saying the most heinous shit to me possible that you can imagine, you coming at me, coming in my neck all kinds of crazy ways, saying stuff about me, saying stuff about my mama, saying stuff about my family. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn about that 5-hour nice stuff. I care about what you just got finished saying. I'm listening to that 5 minutes because the way I feel about it, to be honest with you, and maybe this is just the James being a weirdo, but I look at it like, oh, you was probably telling the truth when you were giving me that 5 minutes. I wouldn't have looked at Mary and Cody's situation with the way he was talking about her and said, oh, when he tells me that he wants me around and he wants to try again, that's when he's serious. No, I would look at it, and like I said, maybe this is my failing, but I would look at it when he sits around and talks about how he wishes your ass would pack a bag and go, and you could go date people, and he's saying that shit to your face in public on camera. Celebrity. He's saying that shit to your face. That's when I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember that. I'm not going to remember, well, you know, after the cameras cut off, he got real sweet and said I was lovely. But bump that. Okay, we are not doing that shit. I would think that you were being honest when you were saying the nasty stuff, because let's be honest here. Let's be very honest and let's be frank and use our thinking caps. Being nice is easy. Nobody is struggling with somebody they genuinely like and they genuinely want to spend time with. Nobody struggles to try to figure out the words to say that they enjoy you, right? Where people struggle and people a little hesitant, you know, I don't know if I want to do this. Is when they have something bad or negative to say to you. When they want to cuss your ass out, you know, some people, they got to get amped up to the point, like, you don't have to get amped up and talk to yourself to go give somebody a hug. You know, I'm gonna hug this mug. I gotta hug him. I'm gonna just put my arms around him. I'm gonna hug him. You know what I mean? Nobody has to talk themselves into doing nice things for you. I'm gonna give him this Christmas present. I'm gonna give him this. I'm gonna give him this present. Say one more thing. I'm gonna hand him this beautiful present. Nobody has to do that. But when people get agitated, especially depending on where you are as a personality, some people, they have to come in hot, you know, and talk to themselves and amp themselves up to say the thing that they have to say, want to say, and need to say to you, which may be uncomfortable. That's where I'm coming from. So I can see, I don't see people, I'm gonna give him a present, but I can't see, this dude say one more thing, I'm gonna cuss his ass out. Say it one more time. Say it one more time. Say it one more time. Right? I see that. I see people, she getting on my nerves, son. If she say one more thing, if she come at me and talk out her neck, I swear I'm gonna say something to her. That's you talking yourself into it, right? So if he gets to a point where he's comfortable telling you, yeah, you need to kick rocks. He look you in the face, tell you, yeah, you need to kick rocks. Girl, we need to go ahead and work it out. And then when he says that he does his confessional, and says, I can't stand Mary and I struggle to be around her. He's saying that he's struggling to do the nice part, but he has zero problem doing the negative part where he tell you he don't want you. That's why I would be locked in. I don't care how often you tell me that you love me or want to be with me. If when you think I'm not either going to hear about it or you talking amongst your people, your friends, your confidants, and you start talking about how you don't want me around and how you fit in a breakup with my ass, I'm good. I believe that. I think you're telling the truth. That's almost like when somebody they have a little too much of that, right? And they start talking and they start saying stuff in vino veritas and wine there's truth, right? That's where I'm at. Like, oh, you meant that shit. That's what you meant. You just because those substances, they don't make you lie. They just lower your inhibitions. They remove your ability to say, you know what, I probably shouldn't say this. It throw your inhibitions out and just kick you fresh out of give a damn, out of clean, clean out of whack. Now all of a sudden you just saying stuff you mean. And that's why half the apologies, like, I'm sorry I said that to you. It's not I didn't mean it. I'm sorry I said it to you. Those are usually those conversations. I was drunk. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it to you. Yeah, so no. Welcome, Donna Reed. Donna Reed just joined the membership. Let me get a little something, Donna. Welcome. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just keeping this all the way a buck, as we talk about it. Because hopefully that's why you guys tune in. So yeah, we talked about that. Let's talk a little bit about, we talk about marrying and speed dating. Let's talk a little bit about Cody and the adult kids. He said, oh, it's just misunderstandings and in your windows. That's why I don't speak to my kids, right? Cody's relationships with his adult children are strained. Even the one, McKelty, who was trying to be his little sidekick and his little buddy because she thought she was better. Here's the thing. Every now and again, everybody eventually is going to reveal themselves. And McKelty and Tony, they thought they was different. Y'all thought y'all was special, but sometimes mofos think they can ice skate uphill, right? Right? You think you the one. You think you different. I like them. They not like us. They not like us. Right? You think you different. And what you found out is when you deal with difficult people, I'm going to call them difficult, not crazy. When you deal with difficult people, what you found out is that you didn't get picked on, harassed, talked about, ignored, and all those things because it wasn't your turn. Okay, now it's your turn. That's why they don't come around and call, or when you talk about you getting ready to leave, they sitting up there probably in the house talking about, oh, I got plans and I can't make it. I'm not going to be able to get out there and see you at any time before we go and before you move across the country. They sitting in the house, chilling like a mug, not disrupting anything because you're not making it convenient for them. You're asking them to do something for you. And what you found out is your ass ain't special. That's all it is. I mean, I can understand why it's hurtful, but I just think that that's why Cody took the position that he did. And now she's on outs. So I think that there's that. For those who don't know, McKelty and Tony moved to North Carolina, closer to Maddie and Janelle. Like they're 4 hours out from Maddie and Janelle. Then you had like I said, Cody dismisses it as misunderstandings and innuendos. It's like the classic Cody deflection. Robin, she's like, oh, everybody just has misunderstandings. They're like talking over here. No, he didn't say that. No, he didn't. Like she's in there trying to get in the middle and solve all the problems, which is crazy as hell because y'all the problem. They're upset because he's not spending any attention to them. So it's not a miscommunication. It's a lack of presence that they're upset about. And the miscommunication is the lie that you're telling that they don't appreciate. That's why you guys are having problems, according to like what we see on the show. Um, and again, a weird part about it is, and I hate to say this because this is reflective of something he said to Christine, but he talks about the relationships with his kids, his adult kids in particular, saying that they fell apart because of bad communication, where the truth is they fell apart because of bad behavior. And that bad behavior, and I hate to say this like, about adults because it sounds childish, but the bad behavior was his behavior, and he just doesn't want to take accountability or responsibility for his part in it and why they don't talk to him. So he just says, yeah, we just don't talk enough. No, it's not that you don't talk enough, because if you talked, I guarantee you, you wouldn't like what they said. You wouldn't like what they have to say. So there's that. um, and then like the weird part is, and this is what I mean, like they cake in and sandwich like interesting statements or scenes with so much filler bullshit that it's easy for you to miss it. There was a point in this episode where I think David, maybe without consequence or anything else, without really connecting it, hits the nail on the head, because he said she's so used when he was helping to move Maddie down to North Carolina, or over to North Carolina. He had said, Christine was in a relationship where her husband didn't do anything for her. Like, he didn't want to do a lot for her. But now she's in a relationship where she's kind of taking advantage of me because she knows I'll say yes. And that's actually the root of the problem that he has with his kids, is that when he was having a relationship with their moms, because of the way that they conducted their relationships, and by they, I mean both Cody and the OG3, because they allowed this to go on for so many years. They helped to facilitate it for so many years. This dude would come around, he would dismiss your kids, he wouldn't talk to your kids, he would ignore your kids, and you would let him back in the door. And not only would you let him back in the door when he chooses to come around again, because you were being difficult, and all of a sudden he ran off to go sleep with or stay with another wife because you were asking hard questions or making him feel uncomfortable because he's not spending enough time with your kids. And then when he finally does come back, because now he's punishing you because you had the audacity to say something to you, but he's not just punishing you, he's punishing your kids. And then instead of you saying, you know what, if you don't want to hang out with my kids, if this is what you're going to do, if you're going to try to hurt me by hurting my children, I'm done. Instead of them saying that, they change or augment their behavior, which only reinforces his belief that this is what he needs to do in order to bring about that positive, for him, what he considers to be a positive change. So you're reinforcing bad behavior. So that when he comes around, he thinks that this is how you do it. And what makes it worse, this is how your kids think that this is how their relationship with their father is supposed to go. And now it just falls into a thing where I honestly think that he doesn't know how to have a conversation or communicate with his kids, because he never had to before. This is something he never had to do. He didn't have to make himself vulnerable for his children. He could act however he wanted, and they always changed to compliment him and to be easier for him. He never had to change for them. And so now this is an entirely new muscle. So as he has to try to come back into their lives, he doesn't have that skill set. So I just think that that's always going to be a problem for them until he starts to adjust to that new reality. So then we get to, let's talk about, I think we're close to wrapping this bad boy up, but let's talk about the Coyote Pass thing. We'll go to Coyote Pass. This old ass brought it back from the dead. This is Night of the Living Dead storyline. This mug will not die, no matter what you do to it. is just around. Like this storyline has been going on for the last literally, this storyline has been going on for the last what 5 seasons. This has been a recurring theme about the dumbness and stupidity of how they did the County Pass property. But tonight they talked about like Robin having this huge attachment versus like Cody's new agenda. And I want to be honest. I know Robin. I love the fact that Janelle was throwing a little shade at Robin, calling her the quiet, silent, pretty wife, and she was talking about that openly. So I'm glad she did that because it shows some reality on her part. Like that's what I would expect from an ex-wife. I mean, that's a full conversation. I think it's fantasy that Cody, as an ex-husband who mistreated mistreated. I think that's a fair statement. Who mistreated and abandoned his wives, thinks that his wives aren't going to have a cruel word to say about him. I think that's not only. I don't even think it's naive. I think it's downright stupid. Like you have to be a stupid person to think that your ex-wife, who you abandoned with the kids who you don't talk to, and you think that person is going to sit around and kiss your behind and talk nice about you, you're a lunatic. You're a straight up lunatic. So we talk about County Pass. First part of it is Robin is still struggling to let go of the dream. And at this point, it's like watching someone grieve a fantasy home that never existed. What are you talking about? I can't let go of the dream. What dream? Or I should say, okay, fine, it's a dream. It never came to fruition. You just had a piece of property that just recently got paid off. This isn't like something that you came into the family and you guys pooled your money and you went out and bought this piece of property in Coyote Pass. And you've had it for the last 15 years and you kept promising yourselves as you bouncing from motel to hotel to, houses in separate areas, so on and so forth, because the cul-de-sac never existed. You didn't have that at the cul-de-sac. It never existed. And your whole dream has been to have this from day one, episode 1, to get on this property so you could be together as a family. Then it might make a little more sense. Still a little crazy sauce, but it would make a lot more sense. This piece of property is something that you bought because you wanted it. And this is what makes that whole crazy, like the silent, quiet, pretty wife, crazy talk. This is what makes Robin look crazy as cat shit. She's sitting here looking nuttier than squirrel shit. Okay? Talking about, I just can't let it go. Can't let what go? What can't you let go? Everybody is gone. You talk about you can't let it go. You need to get over it. Go work through it or whatever. Drink some. Go get something to drink. Go sit down. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to get committed. Like it's at that point. Like if I'm watching her go through this shit, like I'm really thinking that she needs to talk to somebody and they need to put her ass in a straitjacket. You understand what I mean? You need to be in the hospital. You need to be in a facility, some kind of institution. You talking about you can't let this shit go. What are you talking about, nutso? What? I can't let it go. You look crazy. Your family has been broken up at this point. Like when they're filming this and they're still doing the confessionals, this shit is not doing her any favors because we realize that they've been broken up for almost 5 damn years at this point. Going on 5 years, they've been broken up. Christine's been married for like 2 or 3. You understand what I mean? Like this shit is crazy. Christine is full on married to another man. She's coming back. Are you nuts? What is wrong with you? And Cody, God bless his heart, because that, for everything you say about Cody, he's still sitting there talking to her. Because my bags would have been packed. You talking crazy like that? My shit would have been packed. I would have been carrying my little trophies under my bags out the door. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some bread. Hit it with the old timey John. I'm gonna go get a pack of smoke, some bread and milk. You know what I mean? Gone. Gone. That is crazy. Like, I can't stress that enough. That is bothersome to me. That just, that whole thing. I can't let it go. I just drive by every time and I think about it. A whole will be on the land. You did everything to break this family up. Then when the family break up, you surprised. What? Crazy sauce. Crazy. And it's like I'm in the struggle mode. Like, you think this is an interesting storyline? This storyline got you looking crazy as shit. Then it's so she's struggling to let go of the dream. At this point, it's like watching someone grieve a fantasy home, like I said, that you never had. You don't even have a real estate agent. You don't even have a fantasy real estate agent. Like, Cody's all over it, and he's talking about, oh, well, we need to just sell the property because we need to get rid of it. And this, that, and the other. We need to just move on, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's crazy to me, too. And then my whole thing is, it's not that he's trying to sell the property because he's trying to move on. And we'll get into that in a minute. I'll hold that for a second. I don't think that's the case. Robin sounds like unhinged as hell. Talk about Coyote Pass is a sacred land of lost promises, and they was gonna move there to build the land and start over. But you bought an expensive house. You and Cody bought an expensive house basically on Coyote Pass. They're less than a mile away from Coyote Pass. And you bought that. That's supposed to be your property or whatever. If you were serious about Coyote Pass, you never would have bought that damn house. You damn sure don't buy it in the same neighborhood. Who has two houses in the same neighborhood? Like, two big ass houses. I can see you have maybe an investment property or something, but who buys two big ass houses in the same neighborhood? I like to stay at this house Monday through Wednesday. Then Thursday through Sunday, I go to my house next door. Like, you're a lunatic. Okay. And like I said, Robin sounds unhinged as hell. Talking about Coyote Pass like being that sacred land. She says that this like miscommunication. Girl, y'all broke up because everyone was tired of being gaslit. Not because of a text chain going wrong. Like, I don't know why you think that like people are gone now. Like, they left the family, and it's not like they left the family and just stopped returning phone calls. They've been very vocal about why they left the family. Their kids have been vocal about why their mamas have left the family. Cody likes to say that they left because he never loved them. No, they left because they was tired of the bullshit. So I don't know why you thought that they was going to volunteer to go stay on a crazy compound with Senorita Lunatic. You know what I mean? Insano. Like, it's just not a thing. And then the more insane part is that Cody keeps saying that like somehow Robin is preventing him from being vindictive. Like, oh, she's my kind, pretty, quiet wife. She's keeping me from doing the things I want to do. That's so silly. You're a silly ass person. And let's be honest, it's not that your wife, your quiet, pretty wife, is keeping you from doing the things you want to do. You know what's keeping you from doing the things that you want to do? You know why I think, and I'm going to be raw dog honest right here. You know why I think they're actually selling the damn property? It's not because they want to move on and try to be equitable. They're selling the property because at the end of the day, they're trying to settle because both Janelle and Mary have attorneys. And in my opinion, those attorneys said, look, we can either... we could do this like the Booty Bandit, baby. We could do this like the Booty Bandit. I like you, I want you. And we could either do this the easy way or we could do this the hard way. You can give up your little 25%. You take 25%. Robin take 25%. You guys are taking 50% of the land. You're making out like bandits, and you get to keep your property at the McMansion. You get to keep your money at the McMansion. That'll be yours, and we won't come after you for it. But if we got to go to court, we coming for all of it. And I'm not even saying, I can even see an attorney saying straight up, like, I'm not even guaranteeing or threatening you, saying that we definitely going to get all the money that they deserve. But as with any court scenario, and this is what I learned early in my career in that profession, you can't determine it's better that you come to an agreement that you can live with in some cases than for you to go to court and you get a verdict that you can't live with. You understand what I mean? You have the ability to sit there and come to agreement. Okay, fine. We'll divide up County Pass equally. But I keep the McMansion. Cool. But if I have to file paperwork, an attorney saying that they have to file paperwork, they'll go for every nickel, dime, penny, anything that's available, anything that ain't nailed down, they coming for all of it. And whether it gets knocked out, quashed, or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean they ain't gonna try. And if you get the right judge, there's a possibility that some of those motions might go through, and they might have actually had to come off of some of that McMansion money. So that was the first part. So, and that's where we're getting like them flirting the idea of selling McMansion, right? Then we're gonna sell a McMansion because we need to just get a new start. And then all of a sudden, Robin's coming around to the idea. Bullshit. Bullshit. You know what happened? In my opinion, what I think happened was they told them, as long as you got Coyote Pass sitting there and you have these two women waiting in the wings, as soon as you sell the McMansion, these women are coming after that money. See, while you holding the deed and while that house is still sitting there in everybody's name and Robin and Cody's name, and nothing has been sold or moved, there's no money changed hands, there's nothing those women can do. That's what made that whole County Pass thing so crazy, because as long as his name was sitting on all those properties, they couldn't sell that land without his permission. You can't, I own a house with my wife. If one of us decide to leave, and we say, you know what, I want all my money from the house. No. The other person, you leave me, especially you leave me for somebody else, I'm not selling shit. I ain't selling the damn thing. I ain't selling the stick or stone on this mug. You just gonna have to eat that. You and homeboy gonna have to figure it out. Y'all not getting no startup money this way. You can cancel Christmas, motherfucker, because you're not getting no startup money this way. I'm not selling nothing. I'm not signing no paperwork. I want to live here. And that's how you can do it when you have a part ownership of a property. So Cody didn't have to sell anything. And as long as him and Robin had their name on it, there was nothing really that Janelle or Mary could do. But when they started talking about selling the McMansion, now all of a sudden that money's on the table. That money's up. Whatever they get offered, they can come in there and get a cut. There's perspective that they can get a cut. And especially with that Coyote Pass thing being a question. So you want to get that settled. So I think that's why they came to the agreement that they were going to sell Coyote Pass. That's why I think that all of a sudden he's changing his mind, because for a long time he wasn't. If you listen to them talk again, stop sandwiching real content with bullshit. Because if you listen to what Mary and Janelle were talking about, they had said that we had constantly been trying to contact him, constantly trying to get updates as to what he wanted to do, constantly asking and requesting that he's divide the property up more equitably. And then so much so that they had to get attorneys, and then they had their attorneys contacting him, and he was ignoring everybody. Now all of a sudden, when it's time to move, now all of a sudden he wants to be benevolent and kind, and I want to be generous to my wives. And why are we treating each other bad here? I don't understand. I want to sell the McMansion, and I want to buy the shit show chateau. We gonna have to work together. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, with some people, you got to stop looking at the bullshit that they trying to tell you and start looking at the fact of who they are. You recognize the fact that the only time that they're really trying to do something nice, kind, and generous for you is when they get some kind of benefit for themselves. And that's what Cody and Robin are doing. That's how I'm code cracking and shit. Just figure out how they make it out. It's not like, oh, well, they're being good people. If they were going to be good people, they would have been good people from the start. And if they were, and the funny part is, if they were going to be good people from the start, there's a real possibility they never would have got to the point where the kids were cussing them out, the wives were cussing them out, and the relationships have been filled with so much vitriol as they are now. Had they been more kind, gentle, and just recognizing the situation, okay, fine, Cody taking responsibility and accountability for his actions and his part of it. I know I promised you guys that I would be there for you. The heart wants what it wants. I realize now that I'm genuinely in love with Robin. That's my person. You guys, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. The relationships just aren't working for me. And I want to focus on this relationship. Yes, I'm an asshole. Yes, I'm wrong. I know I hurt you, but I just want to make this right. That would hurt. They're still going to talk shit about you. Get that out your mind. I'm going to say these words and they not going to have no mean words for me. That's not a thing. They still going to talk shit about you. Get over it, but you deserve it. So you recognize it, you accept it. And, since men, we do hard things because that's what men do. And that's how you determine what kind of man you are. That's a hard thing that you're going to have to bear, bro. I'm going to say it where I'm going to put it where you can get it. Adults understand this. Women, men, we all understand this. But where you are, I'm going to put it that way, in the male chauvinist bucket. You got to do this hard thing, man. They can still go talk shit about you. But you would have, but it would have been a lot smoother. Well, eventually. Because some people are bitter and they carry grudges like luggage. I say they grudges got handles because they hold on to it. Okay. But it is what it is. So I didn't like that part of it, like the whole, County Pass part. And then, like I said, this is the introduction that Cody and Robin are going to sell the house. And they try to do it like this big discussion. You guys already figured out that you're going to sell the house. You're okay with selling the house. Because like Robin said, I don't have to drive by the house because it's really going to upset me if I'm watching people actually do shit with the property. Because we failed to do anything on that property. They didn't do shit on that property except for cut down a bunch of trees. They did nothing on that property. That property is in the same condition. Well, no, minus the trees, which are valuable. They haven't done anything on that property. So, no. And then the one thing I will say that has been very annoying for me, and then I'll get more into the commentary, and I'll give my synopsis on what I think about this particular episode. But the one thing that like I said, bothered me about the transaction, as far as Cody was saying when he was describing it, like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take this name off of that, and because they're saying like, oh, we're going to put all the names on the property, and then Cody wasn't even saying we're going to put all the names on the property. He was basically saying what we're going to do is we're going to divide the lots where we have Cody and Robin's name is going to be on one lot. Then they're going to add Mary's name to another lot, where it's like Cody and Robin and then Mary. And then Janelle's name appears on another lot. And then somehow it's supposed to come out to 25% apiece, which is the most fangled, confusing ass, non-answer bullshit. Like, he's still up to the same games. And this is why, like I said, you really need to get the attorneys to nail this shit down for you. Let's put, instead of doing all this swipping and swapping on the properties and trying to balance out where everybody may get their equal percentage, why don't we put everybody's name on every piece of property, so that way, if we sell the entire piece of property, we can divide it 4 ways. If we're selling this off part and partial, meaning we're selling off like one lot and then to one person, another lot to another person, maybe having to hold on to the other 2 lots for a little while, everybody can start getting paid out. If everybody's name is on it, everybody starts getting paid out, everybody's invested. It also helps because how much would it suck if we were all doing this together? I had a piece of property that sold first. And it might be the most valuable part of the property. Maybe they have the clearest view of the mountain or whatever, which adds value to my property, so it sells immediately. But then your properties, because my property is between all of your other properties, now it's not, up for somebody who wants to put a big ass house there, or somebody who wants to put developments there, or whatever the case may be. They don't want to buy the property because I sold my little parcel to somebody else. And then you guys are stuck with your property and you're still having to pay taxes on the shit. I walked away with my money. I'm long gone with my money, and you guys are still holding on the property, trying to sell taxes and trying to sell it for profit. So no, we're not doing it that way. Let's put all our names on it so we can all sell it. We'll all be parties and all partners in this last little venture, and we can all get our money out. He's still trying to rip these women off. He's still ripping them off. He can't help himself. You know? So I just, not impressed. Here's my thoughts on this particular episode. And I have to ask the question. Part of the reason why I did the poll earlier wasn't just because I wanted shits and giggles and it's a gimmick. I genuinely wanted to get a feel for where everybody was, because it does occur to me that, I've been a little rough on the Sister Wives starting this season, even a little after. I just looking at it, where am I at on it? Give me a second. I'm gonna go through some messages real quick. We had Lizzie B. She gifted a One My Take on Reality membership. Thank you so much, Lizzie B. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys tune in on Saturdays. We run our roundtable where we have the members all come up and you can talk to each other, converse with each other. It's an even playing field. We have a full-on conversation. Sometimes we talk about Sister Wives heavily. Sometimes we drift into wherever the conversation leads. That's what we do. That's what we talk about. It's interesting. So make sure you come out for the Saturdays. The roundtable events, plus you'll have access to the emojis and all that stuff. I got to put some more emojis in. And here is a little something for Lizzie B. And then Kitty had this message. She said, married dating thing was painful. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie, it was painful. Yeah, it was a little rough. But here's my overall assessment of the episode. Let me check through some of the messages, see what you guys were saying. Let's see. I'm going backwards, so some of the stuff might not make sense if I just throw it up. Oh yeah, hit the speak pipe. We had an interesting speak pipe last Thursday. That's available. That live is available. You can listen to the commentaries. We got some fire. Folks come in with the fire phone calls. Yeah, it's just like my overall thought on this episode. Then I'll let you guys go. Here's what I thought about this particular episode. Oh, yeah, wait, let me put that back. Speak pipe. So join the Armada. But here's my thoughts on the episode. Part of the reason why I wanted to get the poll done was because I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. Because I do recognize that maybe I'm being hard on them. Like I thought about that as I was like, thinking about this episode. I was like, maybe I'm being too hard on them. Maybe my expectations are too high for what I want to see from them. Because I'm getting to a point where I'm not really interested in Cody and Robin's storyline because it's just not there for me. I don't care enough about them as characters to continue watching them. Like if it was just a Cody and Robin show, I wouldn't watch it. Right. And the things that they do are starting to annoy me for no reason. Like they're out there cutting the trees down. Like I came to recognize that they're cutting down trees. And I'm like, there they go again with them damn trees. Same ass conversation, lame-os. Like it's just, it's jacked up. Then I'm watching like Christine, Mary, and Janelle kind of go through life. And there's interesting flashes But again, part of the challenge that I have is that, like I revealed on Saturday that I've known people who have been in the bar business, right? Going out and talking to folks. Like I talked to owners of places. And I always found it interesting to talk to people who work at different places. So I've had more than my fair share of conversations with people who own bars and clubs and sitting there chopping it up with them. And one of the hard, fast rules of a successful, long-standing entertainment venue is not just having people who are committed regulars, but you constantly have to add new people to or new customers to your business in order for your business to not be successful, just for your business to survive. You have to constantly add new people, right? And as I watch these episodes, even in season 2, like there's certain things, because I'm a long-standing viewer, there are things that are happening that I know I understand, but I also understand these things are inside baseball. These things are things that we know or I know because I've been watching the show, so I understand why this is impactful. But if I was a new viewer, say I was somebody who came off of Special Forces, saw Cody and this guy, what, he got a bunch of wives and he's got a reality show? What's the show? Sister Wives. Oh my goodness. Let me tune in on Sunday to see what this dude's shit is about. If I tuned into this episode and I had no idea what this was about, I wouldn't watch episode 3. I wouldn't. I wouldn't watch episode 3. To be honest with you, if I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck, I probably wouldn't have made it through the full episode before I flipped the channel. Because there's nothing really, there's not enough, uh, there's no courage in this show anymore. And I think that's part of it. Maybe that's exactly what it is. I don't think that, like, when they first came out, there's a certain level of bravery for you to present your lifestyle, orientation, whatever, for you to come out and say, this is who I am. And the willingness to do that, despite the fact that, there may be people who don't like you or don't approve of what you're doing or won't support it, but you do it anyway. That's a sense of bravery. And I think that earns you a lot of street cred. Part of why Christine's popularity exploded was because by leaving, she demonstrated that sense of courage and bravery, because she didn't know leaving would work out for her for real, for real. If she was tapped into like a lot of like my channel or, other channels that are on YouTube, she might have picked up like, okay, maybe I should go. It might go over real good with the fans. This is what they're asking for, right? They're asking for this sequel. But it does take a sense of courage for you to recognize that, like, one, this is who I am. Two, the thing that I've been telling you hasn't been true. And we were not successful in our relationships. In fact, we've been failing. We've been failing this whole time. And I'm accepting that. I'm being honest and I'm ready to move on. That would get you a lot of credit. The way this thing kind of works now, there's no courage in it. It's a bunch of like hammy, overproduced, feel good bullshit. Cody and Robin, yeah, they say things that rub you the wrong way, but that's not their intention. It's not like they're saying these things and I'm brave for saying it. These are highly constructed, well thought out ideas and plans and strategies that they have that just don't work. There's a difference. There's a difference. They think that it's going to make people like them. They think they're going to ingratiate themselves to people. It just backfires like a mug because it's so stupid. It's so dumb. Nobody wants to hear about, like, it just, if I could sit down with Robin and Cody and just tell them, like, nobody wants to see the mistress win. Sorry, boo-boo. You the mistress. Oh, we were all married in a very special ceremony. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Because the way you came in, and here's the thing, the way the rules were explained to us, many years ago when you guys first came on the show, and this is part of the problem with new people coming in. When you guys first started the show, you gave us one set of rules. We're all equal. We all share equal time. We all divide our money equally. So the resources and things we have for the family is equally distributed, evenly distributed to each member of the family so that they would always have the things that they need. We find out that none of that is true. So, no, the people who are taking advantage of the system, nobody roots for those people. You know why? Because those people are called cheaters. Unironically, nobody roots for somebody who is cheating on their spouse. Nobody roots for the cheaters. It's just a thing. So it's not going to work. And if you're trying to attract new people, you have to explain to them, why is this important in the entertainment world, acting world, or creative world of creatives? They would refer to that as the stakes. What are the stakes in this scene or this situation? What happens if you watch a movie? Any good movie that you watch, a good movie, good play, good book, whatever the case may be, good television show, right? The stakes are usually so high that they're life altering, either life ending or life altering. So it's so important that this thing get done, whether it's important, whether it's important to the general world or a good thing to the general world or not, whether it's good for the person or not. To them, if this thing doesn't happen, their life will either end, be ruined, or significantly changed. Roll, action, roll camera, right? Roll camera, sound, lights, action, right? That's the scene. But with this show, where do you have that if this doesn't work out? If Cody and Robin don't sell Cowdy Pass, their life is going to be over. She's trying to make it seem like the stakes is high because if we sell Cowdy Pass, I have to give up on my dreams of having a united family. Cody is already divorced. Mary's going through the church. Janelle is talking about going through the church to get a release, which is like the spiritual separation and divorce from the church. Christine, she didn't go get a release, but she got full-on legal married. So there's no way she's coming back to the family. So what are we talking? There's no stakes there. That's not real. Like, what are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. It's loony bin shit. Right? Somebody needs some shock therapy. Like, this is crazy. Like, they did a 1950s therapy. Right? This is nuts. So there's no stakes. So if you are watching this show and you're starting out watching this show, what are the stakes? Christine is upset because McKelty is moving, but your kids moved. Kids sometimes move away. And then a new person wouldn't understand that Christine was the caretaker of these children, so it might hurt her more that they're all moving away from her, and she's not going to be involved with the grandkids, right? It's just not clear to somebody who has never watched this show, and that's why I'm saying, like, this show actually cuts off any prospective new audience that they would get. Like, a lot of the big drama moments, like with Mary saying, or Janelle saying, quiet, shy, pretty wife, yeah. That's an inside joke for viewers. That's not a joke for new people, right? And the unironic part of it is that there's a lot of it which would come off and start to look like it's petty, or the OG3 are doing this and they're just bitter because Cody's happy. Right? But even that storyline, to be honest with you, if I was a new viewer, that wouldn't be particularly interesting to me. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know. Like, I'm still at a point now where originally I thought maybe I was just being unfair and cruel and just, downplaying the show, and people, he just downplaying the show because he don't like it because he's a god. No, I just like good shit. I don't think the male perspective or the women's perspective actually comes into play as much as if you like good stories, this is really turning into something that is not a good story. It's not a good story. Not so much storyline, but it's not an interesting story. Watching a married couple move their kid over across the country, was that unless you're a fan of the person doing it, what am I watching? That's what I'm saying. As a new person, what would I be watching? This is the equivalent of this is the reality show equivalent of IRL in real life live streaming where you're watching somebody sleep at night. If you're a fan of that person, like whatever celebrity you're a fan of, Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, uh, one of the young guys, Tom, whoever, and you're watching them sleep. Oh, look at them sleep. They're so cute. Oh my goodness, they're amazing. Most people are watching that shit, right? But if you're a super fan, you might watch it. Watching somebody move across country, if you're a fan of Christine, watching her take her daughter across country might be interesting to you. If you've never watched this show before, are you going to watch that? Probably not. Are you going to watch them talk about Coyote Pass? Okay, you guys are, I mean, if you put it in a parlance of normal people, you guys are divorced, you're separated, you had a shared property, now you're talking about selling that property. You should have been did that. Those aren't stakes. These women are getting ripped off. I mean, Janelle's sitting there on 152 acres. If you're a new person to the show, it sounds like she already has enough land. It just sounds like she's trying to get more out of the property, you know? So it's just like, as a person who's watched this show, I understand why it's important. And I think it's more important. Like, not only should she get the 25%, or not even 25%, I genuinely think that Cody and Robin should sign Coyote Pass over to Mary and Janelle. Let them take that, and they keep Cody and Robin keep the McMansion. And that to me, that seems more equitable, right? That way everybody walks away with something. But Cody's not letting them walk away with that cash cow. So, cash cow move. Not the sacred cow, the cash cow. So, but that's me because I watched the show. As a person who, if I was a person who never saw this show, I wouldn't understand why this is so important. And more to the point, I wouldn't understand why they wouldn't be able to do it more fairly. You understand what I mean? So again, I'm kind of on the and people, maybe there's people out here, maybe there's not, but I kind of get the feeling that there might be people who think that Liz B's awesome. They might think that I'm just hating on the show at this point. I'm not. I'm criticizing the show. I'm talking about the show, things that I see that are fundamental problems because I want the show to improve. I want them to do better. I want them I want them to have interesting season 20 and then an interesting season 21. I don't want to see this end for them. But because I mean, I understand, like, when you hustling, you working, trying to make it happen, especially in entertainment, it's a grind. And if you can, I love to see people succeeding in it. But if your show is going this route, I'm telling you, you're going to lose people. Just like I said earlier when we started this out, I'm not watching any more 90 Day Fiance. And I was a big 90 Day Fiance person. If you go through my channel, I have videos. My earliest videos was on 90 Day Fiance. That's why I started this channel on 90 Day Fiance. But I refuse to watch another season of another lump of bullshit that they're trying to pass off as a reality show. I refuse to do it. And I think that in looking at and judging by a lot of what people are saying in the chat, you know what I mean? I think that a lot of people are getting to the point where even the poll reflects that a lot of people are getting to the point, fans, like super fans who've been here since season 1, episode 1, day 1, watching this stuff, watching the family, the kids grow up, know everybody's name, what's going on with them. Super fans, they're getting tired of this show. And I got to tell you, if you make those people tired of the show, TLC intern, I'm talking to you to go tell your bosses. If you're making those people tired of this show, your show is going to get canceled. If the people who have been watching this show since season 1, episode 1, day 1, if they're getting tired, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to capture a new audience. It's not as though, because there is a phenomenon, especially in comic books or comic book adaptation films, some of the earlier action films, things of that nature, where they make subtle changes, or the material isn't the same as the book or the literature, the literary work, and all of a sudden true fans of that work get upset and they get mad because of the changes. That's not what's going on here. These are not creative differences. This is just people are getting bored, they're getting frustrated, and they're getting tired of watching the same old stuff. And more to the point, and there's a large and growing part of the fan base that is just frankly getting tired of TLC and the cast members playing in their fucking faces. Pardon my French. They're just tired of y'all playing in their faces. You tell them one thing one week, then you go back and tell them something different. And then what makes it worse is you get on your little live streams, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, your whatever social media platforms, or you do an interview where you sit there and criticize the fans for believing you. You criticize people for not only believing you when you say that these things happen, but you criticize them and put them down because they supported you. They're supporting you. And that in and of itself shows a level of disrespect, and it turns a lot of the fans, to be honest with you, I'm not even going to say a lot of fans. I'm not going to put it on you guys. It turns me off. Like some of the stuff that Mary does, I can handle quirky people. Like I said, I'm a people person. I used to be quiet about it, but I am a fucking people person. I can talk to anybody. I've been in places, straight lace. I've been in places who and had conversations with outlaw motorcycle people, sitting there chopping it up with them. And I'm talking about motorcycle gangs that don't like people like me. And I'm able to have that, bridge that gap and have that conversation with those people. Now I wouldn't necessarily leave the bar when they leave the bar or the place where we at. I ain't trying to talk to them in the parking lot. We be all, it's like some convenience stores. You be cool in the convenience store, but the parking lot is deadly. I'm not doing that. But I can have those conversations. And and I'm telling you, like, it's just watching these people have these ridiculous conversations and putting people down. I can handle quirky people. I can handle that. Like Mary being quirky, I can handle that. What I don't like is when Mary comes out and she's people keep coming up to me, bothering me, like asking me questions. You're on a reality show. I've said this a million times. I don't cover anybody on my channel that if they don't agree to be on the show. Like I've respected, I guess I'm gonna talk about them unironically. Like Logan, Leon, they're kind of off doing their own thing. Hunter, he's not really in he'll come on the show every now and again. But any one of the kids who chooses not to be on the show, Gwendolyn, when's the last time you saw me do a expose on Gwendolyn? Right, Gwen. I don't talk about people if they choose not to be on the show. They're off my radar because I respect their privacy. But if you keep signing up for this damn show and you're taking, more to the point, you're taking checks to do this show, and this show is about your life, don't be upset when people come to you and talk to you about your life, boo-boo. That's one of the costs to be the boss. That's what you got to pay. That's the toll. And if that's the case, you just have to accept that that's what it is. You're not famous because you are extremely talented and you're this wonderful actress who becomes this character on TV. Like I wouldn't walk up to Meryl Streep and expect her to be somebody from a movie that she played. You understand what I mean? Helen Mirren. I like for a long time I had like a creepy crush on Helen Mirren. It was crazy. Like she's definitely a senior citizen. But it'd be like, oh, she's so there's something about her. It's crazy. She's one of my favorite celebrity people. But oh, you like I remember this movie you was in with Cuba Gooding Jr. and you was this way. I would never walk up to Helen Mirren and pretend like she's a character from the show. But if you're a reality person, this is who you are. This is who you present yourself as. You tell people your story. You tell people your vulnerabilities. And if people come up to you and say, hey, you revealed this and this encouraged me, or you said this and that gave me some insight or some understanding about where I am as a person. And then you get on live and start talking about how that person ruined your afternoon because you was busy doing something, then that kind of makes you an asshole. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm just saying, TLC, you got to do better. You gotta do better. We had a super chat from hold on, we had one of the channel favorites with the super chat. Michelle Woods in the house, $20 super chat. Michelle Woods, how you doing? I get you to call in. Just finished watching the end. Felt I was watching Twister. yeah, it did have that Twister vibe. We gonna ride into the storm, yo. The only thing they were missing was like a cow flying by as they were going down the street. For those who don't know, it was a movie in the 90s about storm chasers. Yeah. Well, actually, in fairness, though, Michelle, they did come out with Twisters, which is basically the same movie, just with younger people and not as well put together. Bill Paxton, the guy, ironically, the Bill Paxton, the guy from Big Love, who really introduced the potential popularity of a polygamous story on television on HBO, was the leading actor in that movie, The Twister. So yeah, it had starring Helen Hunt and the late Bill Paxton. Coincidentally, well, you beat me to it. Was Big Love about polygamy? Yes. Yeah, got to read the whole thing. See, great minds think alike, Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate you. Yeah, that was you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. The weather thing, that was serious. Like I feel like because they padded with so much bullshit that you lose sight of the fact that the weather thing is a big thing. Like in some parts of the country, like the same way they have flash floods, those twisters, the tornadoes, they can just drop down on you. Especially if you're not really from the area, you don't know what the weather patterns are like, you're not really paying attention. You could be riding into a storm, right? And like I said, it could get crazy. It can get crazy. So, but thank you so much, Michelle. I like the, for those who don't know, this was a movie that was from the 90s. Yeah, I know, Michelle. I know what you're saying. I find myself doing that more and more. Just so you know, this was a movie, but way back when that I saw when I was younger. It nothing makes me feel quite as old as when I have to do that, or more to the point, not even so much that I have to do it, when I realize that I have to do it. Because if you were born of a certain age, like I was born in the 90s, shit, now it's like I was born in the 2000s. You know what I mean? If you were born in 2000, you're 25. So, I mean, you can rent a car. So, this was a movie that was out 10 years before you were born. And it was like a popular movie. It was one of those like summer movies. So it's probably not like technically it's not a classic. It's a good movie, but it's not a classic film, even though it's a good movie. Yeah, that movie would probably get new people. And it was strong enough where, if you really think about it, strong enough and popular enough where, again, they came up with a remake for the film. So there's that. But thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate you. Yeah. Suzanne Grady said, "Too bad the tornado didn't clear the land for Cody of all Janelle's junk." Yeah, right. That's what he's waiting for. I'm waiting for the tornado to come. Yeah. Lizzie B. Oh shit, wrong one, wrong screen. Lizzie B said it's iconic. Who doesn't remember that cow singing? Yeah, they brought it back with it. In the new movie, that was a reshoot that they had. The cow, they did the whole cow thing floating by. You know, that shit was serious. But that was when you realize like how bad these tornadoes are. Like, because if you flying like that, your ass is done. You Dunsky. Like when the people like, oh, he got sucked up into the tornado, they're gonna find you about 2 towns over. You know what I mean? Like you are not okay. You wherever you went fast as hell. So them tornadoes are no joke. Get my ass out the Midwest. See that girl was robbing the cow. Yeah, right. She was watching her money fly by. That's why they trying to sell Coyote Pass. Let's be fair about selling Coyote Pass, because I don't want to cheat you ladies. More to the point, I don't want you coming back asking for money for the house that you contributed to. And again, and even that little part, that's what I was referring to. That's something that you guys would understand because you watched this show and you've been watching the show. If I said that to somebody who just like this was their second episode, they would have no idea what I was talking about. What do you mean the first wives put money in a Robin's house? That's Robin and Cody's house. Why would they do that? And if that was the case, why would they only expect some of the money from the land that they bought and not expect money from the house? There's just, like I said, and I think that's also part, maybe that feeds into it too, like on the undertone of it, why I'm not a fan of it, just because so much stuff has happened and people are not aware of, and I know new people who watch the show won't be aware of it, and it annoys me that Robin and Cody will be able to get away with things just because people are ignorant to the shit that they were actually doing. That kind of bothers me, and there is room for them to generate fandom or popularity on the show with people who aren't familiar with it, because they just don't know what these people have done and what they're capable of doing. So that Cody and Robin, they seem friendly. They seem like they're the sensible ones, because you don't understand. Oh, these women just seem mad. Yeah, because you don't know why they're mad. You don't know what with the circumstances and situations. If you understood that, you would understand why they pissed. If anything, you might be asking yourself, why are they not more mad? You understand what I mean? And to be honest with you, again, I don't know if there's enough meat on the bones to make somebody who's not familiar with the show want to watch the show anyway. So even in that analysis, I don't know if the show is interesting enough for people to actually sit down and watch it longer than that. But that's where I'm at. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Like I said, I'm not going to run this out too long just because I want to be respectful of people who have to get up in the morning. We are going to be doing a call-in show this Tuesday at 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. 7 p.m. We're going to do it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. You guys can call in. I'm going to open it up. That gives you guys an opportunity for those who maybe don't have early access to the episode. Thank you for coming in, by the way. If you haven't seen the show, or if you hadn't seen the show and you just chose to come hang out with your boy, I appreciate you. But this gives everybody an opportunity to actually sit down, watch the show, see the show, because it'll be available on the streaming networks, Disney, or not Disney, on I think it'll be Hulu. So I guess technically it will be Disney, Discovery, and HBO, depending on where you live. So you'll be able to watch the show, digest the show, and you'll be able to call in and give me your comments. And again, if you want to call in or leave a speak pipe, I appreciate that. And I will play those on Thursdays, play your comments on Thursdays. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys as much opportunity as possible to get your input in so you can share with the community on where you are. So if you want to comment on how you feel about the season so far, I want to hear about it because I'm curious. Are you excited about this season? Do you think they're doing a good job? Am I being too negative? And again, I don't mind criticism. If you guys think I'm being too negative, say that. I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't mind people saying having a difference of opinion. I'm not afraid of it. So if you think I'm being too critical, let me know. You know, James, you kind of being hard on the sister wives. You being hard on the beef. That's what Cody said. You're being hard on the beef. Because he's cutting down the trees. Cody is a beaver. He's cutting down them damn trees like a maniac. So, you know, let me know what you guys think about it. Again, I want to give you guys the most opportunity to be able to say what you want. The cool thing about SpeakPipe, you can leave a message. If you don't like the message, you can change it and rework it. You don't have to send it right in. It's not like I'm gonna say such and such and such and such. Boop, we sent it. Like that's not how it works, right? You can change the message and leave the message you're satisfied with. 1, 2. Like I said, you don't have to leave your name. If you want to leave it anonymous, that's fine. If you just want it to be between us, just say right at the beginning of the message, James, this is between me and you. Don't play this on the live or whatever you want to say, however you want to say that. I won't play it. Or if you have a comment that you want to leave, and then I can pass that comment along, but you just don't want to have your message played, that's fine too. But I want to give you the opportunity to be able to say the things that you want to say. Don't tell him that or he'll start dancing. I'm a maniac. I'm a maniac. For those who don't know, that was a song that was popular during the 80s. She's a maniac on the floor. That was not dirty dancing. What's that stripper movie? About a stripper who was like a construction worker, a welder. She was a welder by day, stripper by night, and she was working on her dreams. Flashdance was the name of the movie. It's Jennifer B. got it. She said Flashdance. Yeah, Flashdance. I'm like, she had like 2 high-paying jobs though. Like, I don't understand. What was she doing with her money? Like welders, even back in the 80s, like when the movie was filmed, they were making like 6 figures, like strong 6 figures. Being industrial welder, she was making ridiculous money. And then you stripping at night, like you going to the club pulling zippers. Like, so if you're doing all that, you're supposed to be like this big feature headline person and the superstar at the gentleman's club. She should have been pulling down 6 figures there. Like, I'm working so hard to try to make my dream come true as a dancer. You should be pulling up to your auditions in a Rolls Royce. What are you talking about? You could produce your own show. You're making so much money. Wendy's front yard says she lived in that awesome loft. Yeah. Well, in New York City, nowadays, that loft probably costs you about, she probably would have to be a welder and a stripper. I mean, and probably maybe even drive like Uber Eats and some other shit in order to make her rent and still have 2 roommates, you know, because in New York, they rent is too damn high. So I mean, there's that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Like I said, I'm not going to drag this out too much. Hey, Carmel Kitty's in the house. What's up? Yeah, but those are my thoughts on the episode. Let me know what you guys think. You're more than welcome to leave comments down below on the rewatch. If you want to call into the show, we will be having the call-in show on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're also going to be doing the Speak Pipe show on Thursday. That'll be at 6 p.m. So if you guys want to leave a message for Speak Pipe, that's always fun. You guys leave some banging messages. So either way, we'll have a good time. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be dropping some shorter videos this week. Talking about like the monogamy thing. Like I had a bit of a hang up because I had some stuff to do for my daughter. Real quick side note, just real quick side note. One of the things that bothers me is that I was working with my kids today, right? My daughter's older; she had her own car, and I worked on my wife's car. I worked on my car, but it kind of hit a little different as I'm working on my daughter asked me to do some stuff on her car, like change her brakes, and I did that with her, and just because I wanted to be aware, if she never changes the brake, I don't care. But I want her to know what goes into it. If she needs to do it or she wants to do it, she can do it herself. So I'm gonna teach her how to do it. Been showing her how to do cars for a while. But it's different when you're working on their stuff and they're trusting you and ask you to work on their stuff. And that really hit me different today as I thought about like you work and you do your thing and you drive like I went to the store or whatever and I was thinking about it and it touched me in a way that, I'm helping her in that next stage of her life. And that was important to me. And as I was watching Sister Wives, it really hit me that like Cody is missing all that shit. Like because of the way he conducted himself, like they don't trust him. They don't, they're not around him as much. They don't ask him for things. They don't rely on him, and he doesn't have that relationship. And that's one of the sad things about being an absentee parent, especially in the formative developmental years of your child's life, that when they do get older, because they're so used to you not being there, that when it comes time for them to need something or ask you to do something, they don't feel comfortable asking you, and you're not, or more to the point, not even so much comfort or uncomfortable. You're just not their go-to person. So when shit happens, they just don't think that like, okay, I'm gonna go call dad because he's that person. You just your number ain't even on the Rolodex. Like you ain't in. You know what I mean? You don't have a speed dial number. You know what I mean? You're not even the top 20 people that they would even think about calling. Like I'm gonna take it to the garage and pay like a ridiculous amount of money to a mechanic to do it before I even consider calling dad because he wasn't around when I was a kid. Like that's actually pretty sad to me, that he's that not only for from Cody's perspective, but just from the kids' perspective, that they didn't have that kind of relationship with their father, that they know that they could pick up the phone and call him. Like they all had to go find somebody else, like another man to fill that spot for them, whether it's a husband, a friend, or a partner in Gwen's case or Leon's case. They had to find somebody else to be there for them because their dad wasn't. Like, and that's sad to me. But yeah, that's my take, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out. But again, let me know what you guys think about this episode. If you call in on Tuesday, that'll probably be one of the questions I asked you. You can give your reaction on whatever you want to give your reaction on. But I'm probably going to ask about like what you thought about this episode and where do you think the story is going. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Before we go, let me give a little recognition to some of the folks who left Super Cheese, one of the OG Triple OG members who's been around forever. Gracing us, Michelle Woods in the house. Then we had Kitty left a message for us, and then of course Lizzie B with the donation of a one My Take on Reality membership, and we also had Donna Reed join the My Take on Reality Armada. Thank you so much. And again, if you guys want to, you'll have access to the perks. You'll have access to the perks would be you have access to the emojis and all that stuff, as well as you'll be able to join the membership roundtable, which we host on Saturday at noon. And I say we because I'm there. We're participating together. It's really good conversations, and I enjoy communicating with you guys. And speaking of which, let's give a huge shout out to the mega mods in the house who have been holding it down for us. We had OG Triple OG Lizzie B in the house, and we also had Carmel Keys. I saw her in here, and I want to give a shout out to Brittany. Not Brittany. I didn't see if she was here tonight, but of course we're gonna recognize her because she's part of the Mega Mod Squad. So I have the trifecta, the Three Musketeers, the Trinity, and I appreciate everything that you guys do. I appreciate you guys coming in. Was this to Kathy? Oh wow. Kathy Ferran said husband or her son just bought a house. Okay, hitting the milestones. Let's put some hearts in the chat for Kathy. That's awesome. and her son. Hopefully that works out well. Good investment around the corner, so he's close to mom and get them stop by and get some of that home cooking. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you right now, my mom passed years ago, but one of the things I do miss is that cooking, boy. My mom could, whew, I'm telling you, she makes some shit bring a tear to your eye, son. You know what I mean? My mom cooks so good, make you take your shoes off and wiggle your toes. I'm saying it was nuts. So yeah, congratulations, Kathy. That's awesome. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for spending a Sunday evening with me right after the Sister Wives show. Appreciate you guys. Huge shout out. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday for the call-in show, Thursday for the Speak Pipe show, and watch out for the videos. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified when I upload new videos or if I go live. Who knows? I might go crazy and just put a live up because some foolishness doesn't happen. You never know. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll talk to you later. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality. And
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.